Man, so we're gonna start. We got a question from Sarah of the Trish and Sarah podcast here on the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Okay.
Um, she said, "Here's my question for tonight's episode: What the fuck is Danielson doing with this build?" Um, yeah,
Did something happen on Collision that I'm unaware of?
yes. He
Okay.
he then did basically the B side of Swerve talked to Jim Ross on Dynamite. They had Danielson sit down with Ross on Collision. And essentially, like, the big takeaway from this was he said that he needs to get neck surgery. Like, and it's not even like hey, I think I need neck surgery. It's not whatever. And it has to be done by, like, he's saying by the end of the year, he's going to need neck surgery. And
Okay.
from there was a couple other things, but it was like really kind of uninspiring stuff that was on there. And I was like, is this like his way, like, to where, like, is he trying not to step on Swerve, like where he says something that's like essentially like ineffective for the build and also like make Swerve look bad? That's what I mean by that. Like, is he trying to, like, is this like reverse psychology? Like, is this, like, I saw it and I was like, I can't believe, like, one of the most inspiring baby faces that I've ever seen is this uninspiring right
Hmm.
now. And I was just like, this is combined with every interview he does, whether it's in character or out of character or whatever. That, there was some podcast I think he was on. I think it was on Bree's podcast, and it was just like all these things about not wanting to win the championship and rather wanting to go home and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, why are you saying all this? Like I don't understand. Like, what's like I feel like Swerve is doing he's doing
Hell of a job.
a hell of a job
Yep. He is.
carrying this thing verbally and
Because
essentially
it's
putting this
his.
thing on his
You want to know
back.
why? Because it's his first WrestleMania main event in theory, and for Danielson, this is his third. And the last one he did, he felt nothing. So,
Look, if he felt nothing that time, shit, he must feel nothing this time. Like, if he feels something
well,
this
remember.
time,
Okay, so
it's like, what are you doing,
well,
buddy? Like,
there's
I
a few.
don't.
No, there's
Actually,
a
I'm gonna
few
pull
things.
while you do that. I'm gonna pull what he actually said
Okay.
recently.
So there's a few things that come to mind for me. One, he might just be working all of us to think that he's trying to get the, oh my God, he's on the way out. This is the last run. We should count him out. This foregone conclusion, Swerve's going to win, and then he wins. The shock the world type of thing. Could be that. It could be, I mean, because there's also quotes he's had before, like he says he doesn't want a main event. He doesn't want to have main event matches. And this could be him being like his way. I don't know why. Some selfish thing of him like, hey man, I've been given the responsibility, and like I never wanted this when I signed up here, and they're still making me do this. So I'm going to then make this really hard for Tony Khan because he did this. He's making me do this one thing I told him I never wanted to do, and now I'm doing it. And it's like, hey man, suck it up. Like people will kill for this opportunity you got. Sorry. I don't know which one it is, but it seems like those are the two options. Neither one of these are really good doors.
And I'll say this, like, there's definitely the chance that he gets to Wembley and is like, nah, I'm not winning. like that's a thing. Like, that could easily, like, because when you put this stipulation, it feels obviously like, all right, because we know he's not retiring, right? So, like, on the Nikki and Bree show, he was like, there's a small portion. He basically said, he was like, yo, there's a small portion of our kids' lives where they actually want us there. Soon, I see it with my friends and my sister and all that kind of stuff. All of a sudden, my daughter, Birdie, she's 7 now. She's going to turn into a teenager, and she's going to have other things. Now she wants daddy there all the time, and I want to be there for that. Also, my body is broken down. The odds are I'm probably going to have neck surgery before the end of the year. This pro wrestling thing, it's been incredible, and it's hard to imagine my life without it for the past 25 years, but it's actually a lot easier to imagine my life going forward without me wrestling. It's actually hard for me to imagine keep doing this, especially with the last year. I've had herniated disc in my back, tore the labrum in my shoulder. I broke my arm, which required a rod and 9 screws. Then I had 2 fractures in my orbital bone, and now I just recently hurt my neck really bad, and that was in April. So it's like all these things. When I started at AEW, I was like, I'm invincible. Then it turns out maybe I'm not so invincible. And From there, like that was mainly like the quote, but
I mean, there's still room for him to snap out of it. I mean, it is weird that about to snap out of her because it's like
it's
you
2
did the
weeks
whole you did
away.
the week before you did the whole stipulation, which should have been you snapping out of it with Jarrett. So with Jarrett, so it's like now you're snapping back out of it. That's weird. Like there's I have no answer for this, man.
What's up?
I have no answer for this.
Like,
this is not like I mean, it still got time, but
it's like
it's been a weird road, man.
It's been like they got 2 weeks before they get this show. I think it is kind of what it is at this point, unless they.
Why did they air this?
As far as the collision thing, like.
Yeah, why did they air it?
I guess
was it pre-tape or was it live?
It was a pre-tape. It was like one of the Ross things. I don't know if anybody.
So clearly, someone had to edit this up, doctor it, and then showed it to somebody, and then like somebody should have to call to be like, "I don't like this. Get rid of it."
I don't know why people in the room aren't like sounding an alarm, be like, and sitting Danielson down and saying, "Look." This is the journey. This is the mission. This is what's happening. Can you at least pretend to give a fuck? Can you pretend to come up with an angle where you can address your opponent? Can you pretend that it's about more than you and like your like life outside of the storyline or even like the injuries, right? And it's like this is so uninspiring, and I don't recognize this guy.
So I've came up with a third option. You know, Daniels is a sickle, right?
Yeah.
Could he possibly be doing something where like, yeah, I'm going to become a part-time champion and like I'm going to go away and I'm going to like do best of both worlds or whatever else where I have my family and I'm going to stay away from this place because my family's more important than this thing and I'm going to hold this belt until it's come up with some excuse for like him being a part-time champion in a heel, like to be a heel turn to do it, be like, you know, my I care more about, you know, my family than y'all, and you know, we've had the jokes with, you know, people.
That's what I said last week, right?
Sorry,
that's like what I said last week, right? I was like, this would be the way to like.
Maybe this is the way he's trying to carve out the way to be a heel champion this way. I would have to see it, like, but. I can't come up with any. Those are 3 routes I see. Is like, and like none of them are great. I feel like all of them are right now from what I see of them so far are suboptimal. Because it's these guys. Like I'm willing to give them more weeks, but it's like you only got 2 more shows, buddy.
Yeah,
they should have scrapped this if the way y'all make it from if you are accurately depicting what happened, they should have scrapped this and not even aired this. I don't know why they aired it.
And like the reason that I didn't like it pretty much was saying like, all right, the big takeaway to take away from this is you need neck surgery by the end of the year. And the way he was saying this stuff, it was like very by the way, very matter of fact. There wasn't like an inspiring end to it to where you can be like, you know, I got all these things wrong with me, but come Wembley Stadium, I'm gonna fight through these things. Like
I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Right,
Days of glory.
He didn't say like these kind of things. It was more like, no, here's what's going on with me, and I'm like, all right, like it just didn't feel like there's a real plan. It's like you're just letting him do what he wants, kind of. I don't know.
Except we kind of feel like we kind of. Given the history, it seems like this is something he would want to do. Like, I don't want to make. He's talking about this. Like, I don't want to do main events anymore.
If he don't want to do a main event, put someone in there that does. Like,
right.
Yeah. It's just like don't tank this shit. Like for like because every single.
I won't go as far as saying tanking it.
It's like every single quote that comes out.
That was a super weird step.
It gets worse and worse and worse. And it's like, why are you saying these things in public? Because like, it's back to that old thing. Like when people are in AEW and they say things in interviews and stuff, people like absolutely like take it way too far or whatever the fuck. So like the tone around everything, you know, fucking morphs. And it's like, all right, shit. You remember when Bray Wyatt was wrestling the Undertaker at WrestleMania? He carried that whole build on his back. We one step away from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't get it. You know, I guess we will see, Sarah. I guess we will see.
I don't like what I'm seeing. Or I thought we were in a good place until I heard about this shit. I did not know this existed. Not good. Not good.
And then it's like, all right, should they not use Collision? Like, it's like, well, you kind of got to use your shows to try to like push stuff forward. So
no, I'm not saying they should not use Collision. I'm saying that like if this was pre-taped, someone had to have produced this segment, and then someone had to have edited to then put it on TV.
Right.
Someone had to have seen the content of this after it was done or before it was done and should have made the executive decision. We're not putting this on TV because this does not help us sell one more ticket to Wembley.
None. I can't imagine somebody was like, "Well, gotta lay the money down
you see
now."
What I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like don't use Collision. I'm like, yeah, use Collision. Don't put this anywhere if it's bad.
Right.
Or it doesn't help.
Right. There was a report that came out. I believe it was Ibu or Wrestle Purist mentioned Swerve and Hangman possibly facing each other at All Out. You know, could that happen? Sure.
I would like to know how they get there, seeing that like on TV, it looks like they're putting Hangman Adam Page into a battle royal or whatever the fuck, the casino thing.
It sure looks like they have shot
Hangman
Page
instead of getting him a high profile match where he can beat somebody to then earn he's just gonna win a fucking chip. Awesome. Awesome.
Because I'm like, all right, if we're going to Swerve and Hangman, right, and it's at All Out, right, if Hangman's in this gauntlet match and he wins, are we quote unquote like what is the main event result? Like, what are we doing there? Have things been changing in the room? I don't know. But for what they're doing to Hangman Page, I thought they've like I think this has been some of the biggest malpractice like with him, but since he's come back, where it's like, yeah, comes back with an awesome new character, beats Jay White, goes to the finals of the tournament, cuts these promos that gets everybody very excited. They beat him the third weekend or second weekend, I want to say.
Well, the way they're beating him is he's getting caught in roll-ups like a dumbass.
Well, he lost to Danielson. Was that he hit him with the knee, right? Like that was a long main event style match.
No. He was in a move. I'm sorry. Danielson caught him in a flash pin.
Got you.
And then Darby caught him in a flash pin too. He's not getting put away. He's just getting caught slacking.
I would say the Darby one's different. Like Hangman lost, he was a dumbass. Like because
that's what all of these. If you get caught lacking, it's because you're more or less you're dumbass.
So and then they're like, whoa,
slash hothead, whatever you want to call it.
They're like, well, we'll put you in the blood and guts with them, and you see the crowd fucking erupt, and they're chanting Swerve at him the whole time. Before then, right now, he's working with. I think he did the match with Darby. I don't know if that was last week.
He had a match with Darby. It
was like 2 weeks ago.
He had a match with Darby right after Blood and Guts.
Yeah. And then from there, it's just kind of.
I will say
feel
this.
like they are dropping the ball.
I mean, they are keeping him hot to an extent because like they having that man whoop Jarrett's ass every week.
But.
And I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't know why, but bro, I gotta say, Adam Page whooping Jeff Jarrett's ass every chance he gets. It makes me laugh to no end. It's the best. I don't know why. Why is he beating this old man every chance he sees him?
Like it feels like they knew that a big show was coming with this guy. And for him to, no offense to Jeff Jarrett's been awesome. And even then, they had the match with him and Danielson. He enters the match by attacking him from behind with the guitar. And I'm like, all right, this guy has been like this old man babyface that's kind of got over or whatever. And it's like, all right, what's happening here now? So like, it just feels like they're shooting people dead to me. Like, and it's like, it's eerily reminiscent of when like WrestleMania used to roll around and people started going around each other in very like unnatural ways, and then you can't wait for the big show to be out the way so they can kind of get back to whatever their path was. And I don't know if it's a case where Jarrett's also in that that gauntlet match or whatever,
Pretty sure he's gonna be.
but it's like this whole thing with Hangman has been one of the most confusing things, and like I'm willing to like take the ride with him. Like, all right, where are we going with this? And if it's Swerve and Hangman at All Out, I feel like there were more effective ways to do this. And then also like, all right, what were those Okada face-to-face things? Oh, I was like, did y'all figure out neither guy should beat each other or something? Okay, then why the fuck did you have that on camera? Like,
Right.
it's just like, it seems like there's just like
When I
so
saw
much
that,
overthinking.
once I saw that battle royal thing, and then like I saw TV, and like there was no Okada, I was like, oh, so like there's no way they're doing Adam Page versus Okada and then not like advertising it multiple weeks, 3 weeks ahead of time, as opposed to like, oh, this is some shit they just gonna do it the last second. There's no way they're doing that. So it's like, all right, they're not doing it. I don't see no Young Bucks on TV. I don't see no Okada on TV. All right, so I'm assuming like once you name this battle royal thing, like, oh my god, they're gonna put Page in this fucking thing, aren't they? This is dumb. And I said it to you like seconds after they announced the thing. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna put him in this battle royal, aren't they?
Yeah,
that seems where they headed.
I don't know why they would do that. Yeah, there isn't much of a build. Yeah, there isn't. There was, you know, blood and guts and then a stare down. It was pretty light.
There is absolutely something they could have used, but they needed more team. They needed to actually like hit it this week. Hey, I knock on that door after I lose that match to Danielson and said I'll do the thing because I didn't want to be involved. I just want to Swerve. I lost my chance to get to Swerve, so I'm going to do this to scratch your back so you scratch mine. Okada interrupt them. They were face to face and like each other. Then Hangman gives Okada the buckshot lariat in the cell. Or not the cell, but inside the cage door and blood and guts. That should have continued since then if that's where they were actually headed. But the Young Bucks and Okada were on fucking TV last week. So what? When are they going to get to it? When would they get to it? Time has passed. Put him in the Battle Royal? Great. Fuck.
If you were a Hangman Page fan, I would say go crazy.
If he's your special guy, I understand being pissed. He's not my special guy. I think it's fucking dumb what they're doing.
I say go crazy these next 2 weeks. Raise hell online. You know, make them see it. They listen. You know. So, is Swerve and Hangman ultimately going to be for the belt? Is it weaker without the belt?
No, it's better without the belt. Because look, at this point, the match you want to see is some blood porn. Is like, whatever, man. Take the belt off of Swerve, make it lights out. Then look, best of both worlds. Swerve and Hangman had their main event where they can bleed out like and cover the canvas with their blood. Everybody can jack off to it, and then Danielson have to be in his main event and have to be the main eventer. Everybody wins in that situation, right?
I don't think people win with that, honestly.
I know that, Rich. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the way this is headed is so weird, man.
Look, it seems like it's going to ultimately be more dissatisfying for everyone. Like, it's like they're going to miss the timing on this shit, and then like
they've been missing timing. Okada's not on this fucking. Or sorry, Omega's not on this fucking show. The time has been thrown off.
But yeah, it seems like there's a lot in the air, as organized as it seems, and they have like 5 like big matches going into it. Some of them have very long-term builds, but I think the main event one is uninspiring, and it's ultimately going to be save it in the ring, and I think people could have cared a lot more about this than I think they do.
The people... Swerve has presented himself too well in this build as a character, as strong as a character, to then have to say you have to save it in the ring. How about you and Danielson figure it the fuck out, Tony Khan? Right? Like, how about y'all say, hey, I need you to say this on air, okay? Or what are you gonna say on air? Repeat it to me before you go on air and say it, before we record it. Hey, guys recording. When he goes and does the interview thing, I want you to report back to me on what he says. And if it's not good, we're not going to air it on our fucking TV and then have Sarah have to message James and Rich and be like, what the fuck is Tony Khan putting on his television? And then we have to talk about this because it's fucking stupid. That report that you gave me sounds ridiculous.
That one was from the podcast. The one that I talked about with the neck surgery, that was on TV.
Yeah, it sounds it's, like you said,
but it's all together. Like it all hits the timeline together at the same time. Like these news stories get put out the same way as these fucking videos.
Even if it didn't, what's on TV is what matters. What's on TV is not good. Why is it on TV?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know,
we were waiting for it to come. It came. What I'm saying is insane. We were waiting for them to fix the lack of short build or tension between these, because they're going with this other thing instead of something that was already been built over the last 8 months, 9 months, 10 months between Hangman and Swerve, right? If you're going to then move on to something else, fine. It's not about giving people everything they want all at the same time, exactly the time they want it, right? That Danielson and Swerve is a great match. And you built towards a retirement stipulation, which did fix what people felt was lacking. And then you immediately threw water on the retirement stip. That was dumb. So what they're doing, like, that's bad. I don't know how to say other than that was bad. Why did you do that? I thought we all realized it and recognize it as bad. I thought we had common people working here. I thought we had lines of communication to make sure shit like this doesn't happen. This is bad. Period. Bad.
Yeah. I don't know why
it was holding out hope. You gave me hope. Now you've thrown water on the hope. Great.
It's like I don't know why you would say you need neck surgery by the end of the year, because like, all right, like then like what kind of run are you potentially about to go on? Like, how does this inspire people?
Hey,
like,
don't count down, Rich.
What's up?
Final countdown, Rich.
Yeah, like
he wants to live the gimmick, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They made the wrong decision. They didn't make the wrong decision.
They chosen the wrong direction for their decision.
Yeah, this is
like, like they should have never aired this. We were fine until they aired this. It's how this goes. We used to do this at WrestleMania all the time. Like, this week good, this week bad. Oh, they fucked it. We've seen this before from a different company, so we know. Like, when you fuck it narratively, it's like it's hard to get out of the dish,
you gotta come back from it now. It's like you got to come back from it. So Swerve's got to be great again, like on top of this.
No, there's nothing Swerve can do to fix this. It's on Danielson to fix this. Swerve is not doing everything he's supposed to do. It's on Danielson to fix this. Yeah. Danielson fucked it up.
Yeah.
How's Swerve gonna fix up Danielson's fuck up? That don't work like that. Danielson has to fix it. He fucked it up.
Like he's an all-time legend. Be the all-time legend, man. Like give a fuck. Like. And it feels weird to talk about this guy like this, because like he can fucking, like, we know he can do it, but I don't think he's above questioning either how some people are acting, and that's like,
huh? What? Do you see this comment in our chat?
Let's see.
The exact opposite happened. What's he talking about?
Yeah, I guess that's a joke, but I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know what the joke is. Saying that something happened that happened in reverse.
Yeah. But it's strange. As great as Danielson was going into Kofi Mania, he's almost been as bad going into this. Yeah, so I will hold out hope.
I mean, I ain't gotta hold out hope. The match is gonna be fucking incredible regardless. But my thing is, like, it's supposed to be a marriage of the two. It's not supposed to be
It's like, what about this TV I gotta watch for weeks?
Event of the biggest. Go ahead, Rich.
It's like, what about this TV I gotta watch leading up to it?
Right. That's my point. It's like, it's supposed to be a marriage. You're supposed to say stuff to enhance, like, what you're going to do in the ring. This ain't enhancing. This is detracting. This is making your job in the ring harder.
Yeah.